Howdy DC On Screen fans, how would you like a piece of original artwork from one of us here at DC On Screen?
Alright, we're aware that you've never thought of that before, but here's the deal. We need your help. Because the internet is a giant monster that requires numbers and regular feeding times. And then these algorithm things that are like our personal demons that we can't defeat alone. Do the right thing. Go over to iTunes. Give us a 5-star review or a more honest review if you feel absolutely led to. And then email us at dconscreen@gmail.com. What we're going to need you to do is just write in an address. Tell us who you are. Give us whatever address you want us to send you something at. You know, if you don't want us to know where you live, send it to your neighbors and go steal his mail, whatever.
Yeah.
Just give us that, and then we need you to write Dave or Jason, and then we need you to write the name of a character. We're going to send you a piece of artwork. All I can say about it is that one of us is a good artist and one of us is not. If you've actually been listening to every episode, you might know the secret answer to that, to who you should really ask. But hey, or toss a coin.
Man, you know, once you get the picture from us, take a picture of it or scan it or something. Send it back to us, and we'll put it on Facebook, just like we do with your DC loot.
Yeah. Send it back with, like, critiques if you want to. We don't give a fuck, you know. Draw over it, you know, pull a Deadpool. Right? Whatever.
One of us might cry.
We'll both probably cry. But whatever. Point is, you know, it's come that time. It's the classic call to action. We need to get out there. We need to get a little bit of the review game going. And this is our humble offering.
Yeah, humble offering. Very humble. I couldn't say it any better myself, man. That was a good pitch.
Oh, thank you.
All right, with that said, settle in for a new episode of DC On Screen. Welcome into DC On Screen. I'm your host, David C. Robertson, and this is my co-host, Jason.
Hi.
All right, today we are talking about Arrow 410, Blood Debts. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to just go ahead and start off this episode the same way we started off the Flash episode with commentary from my girlfriend Bethany, who said it was interesting to find out that Dark's wife is also evil, or should I say Dark. But what is Genesis, and why does it involve so much corn? I hope we find out soon. I have my fingers crossed that it's a diabolical plan for a Genesis reunion tour. I think it's just what the show needs. Genesis is almost ready. We're much too close to play games. Sounds like Peter Gabriel and the other guys are on board, and they're just waiting to get confirmation from Phil Collins. Come on, Phil.
No, they're trying to get enough corn ready that it qualifies to it fills the rider that Phil Collins has. No, guys, I'm not coming back to Genesis unless, and then describes this ungodly amount of popcorn that he requires.
I thought it was going to be an unholy union between the band Genesis and the band Korn. That's what
Which would be a world ender, I admit. I did not suggest earlier that it was and diabolical is the word I'd want here because it alliterates. But didn't I suggest earlier that it's a scheme to kill everyone with diabetes? And they're going to be so disappointed in a minute when they're like, "We're going to turn this into syrup. It'll be called high fructose corn syrup." And then one of the yes men's going to Google what, and then explain like, "All right, yeah, so that's already in like everything." You're kidding me! Damn it! Years of planning.
It's going to be the Arrow take on the Austin Power movies.
Right. They already do that?
We'll hold Star City ransom for $100,000.
Right.
Oh.
It's really not a lot at all. Okay. Oh, okay.
Mr. Dark. Oh,
I want
man.
2 shiny nickels.
And none of those buffalo nickels either.
Right.
Oh. Man, they are still playing that grave up, though.
They are. And they better pay it the fuck off. They better.
Okay. You know, hey, spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen it, because we're going to get super spoilery on this episode.
As we often do.
You know, they're playing it up. I'm so fanatically ecstatic that they chose to go ahead and put to bed the is Felicity in the grave bullshit.
Yeah, I give them that. Now, they haven't completely put everything else to bed with her, but at least that's off the table. And apparently Oracle, because, damn it.
Yes, they have put that to bed as well.
Starting to not like when
you know what else they put to bed?
Mm-hmm.
The fact that Felicity would be upset with Oliver wanting to kill this dude, or Damien Darhk, I guess.
Yeah.
Dude, that was like that gave me chills.
Oh,
like
yeah.
he sits down in the car, and she's like, "There's Felicity." We're like, "Yeah, it's not Felicity." And she's like, "You know what you have to do, right? You have to kill that son of a bitch."
Right.
Yeah.
You're like, that's my girl. Smoke him out. Yes.
It's so good.
I'm pretty happy with that. I am.
I loved when
they pointed out a couple of things with Felicity that, like, is it Oliver? Who is it that actually stops and says that someone bothers to stop and say that you realize she's the strongest character and like the strongest person among all of us or whatever.
I think it was Oliver.
Was it Oliver? But he's absolutely right. Like, for the rest of the episode, everyone else is kind of like toiling around her and focusing on her, and she wakes up immediately going, "Do we know where Dark is? What's going on? What are we doing with that?
Yep.
Why aren't y'all at work right now?" Like,
and then he like wants to take her out of the take her on a vacation or whatever and get her away from. She's like, "Well, Damien Darhk is still out there, right?"
Yeah, and she
kinda,
yeah, so that's not gonna happen. Damn it, dude. She's got more willpower than the rest of the show combined.
Yeah,
it's impressive. It's just fucking impressive, is what it is.
I really did enjoy the bit where like they're like, "Oh, you can't just keep hunting Damien Darhk because you're angry at him." And he's like, "No,
I totally can."
I mean, what was he said? He said, it's a vendetta, but it's not personal. Mm-hmm. Like, this guy is like totally, he's a problem. He's got to be taken down.
Right.
End of story.
And it sure as hell looks like it sure as hell looks personal early in the show. I mean, they're doing the cut scenes between the operation and him just slamming folks. Mm-hmm. He just pushes the one guy into the breaker box. Still not sure that's how breaker boxes work, but whatever.
No, he didn't do that.
Did he not?
He was trying to no, because right after that scene, the dude actually kills himself, so Oliver couldn't get any information out of him. Yeah, and then he goes back, and they're like, "Oh, did you get anything?" He's like, "Nope."
That's
but the ghosts are still willing to commit suicide to keep from saying anything.
That's
or whatever.
right.
Yep.
Well, still, I was getting all happy about bloodthirsty Oliver again, but
now I did get happy with. I did love when Quentin was like, "So you're dropping bodies again?"
Yeah,
and he's like, "Just this one."
And you got to admit, like, even Quentin's going to kind of look at him and go, "As long as that one's Damien Darhk, we're on the same page, buddy."
I could have dealt with him just like looking at him going, "Laurel?" And he's like, "No, Damien." Oh, no, right.
Damien. Right. Why would I? Why? Are you going to kill Sarah again? No. No one is suggesting these things, Quentin.
Calm yourself, Quentin. Donna, no. Probably. That's probably the one.
Handful of medicine that has been prescribed to you. Just take it now.
Why are you clutching your chest? Quentin, stop. It's
Quentin,
okay.
You know damn well the writers decided you didn't have a heart condition this episode. Stop clutching at your chest that way.
And you know what? Because I am sick, I watched the pilot again last night.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
The Arrow pilot. Quentin was so good. He wasn't like later on, like they almost make him a caricature where he's like, Laurel, Sarah, my babies. He didn't do any of that shit in the pilot. He was so cool. He was just kind of he didn't even really have the accent. I'm like, you should have stuck with the pilot, dude. Come on. But yeah.
That makes sense. I don't know. I haven't thought about his progression in a while, and the thing is, if they haven't overused all this nitpicky shit we do with Quentin,
it's just fun to do the voice. Honestly,
it is a lot of fun.
I'm not even that annoyed with Quentin on a normal basis.
No, he comes in and out, but the problem is that they overuse things for him so much that it goes beyond us being nitpicky and into, come on, guys, do something else. Like, he cannot spend his entire life blubbering about his two daughters. He's got to eventually you do something about it. Just it's the
and my real fear is that they're gonna get him with Donna, Felicity's mom, and actually move his character the hell on just in time to kill him.
Yeah, just in time to kill him, and then repeat all of those scenes. Which, don't get me wrong, if they had just shown us once, maybe twice, of him like mourning a lost daughter or something, or he goes into overprotective mode too much is one of my I think the most specific complaint I have. And
there's certainly an argument to be made that he's justified in that.
There's not. I
mean,
to me, there's just not.
He keeps losing. He's lost Sarah twice.
I know, and I just definition of insanity, man.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
And at no point, like
he's a very broken character, and I think they could get really deep into his character and really make him a real player on the show, like they started to do in season 2 before they kind of relegated him to being like heart conditioned captain.
Right. Yeah.
Like he was actually like a good, and like earlier in the season they like kind of went, okay, well he's part of Team Arrow now, cool, and he's still kind of. I mean, I guess it's good that they kind of have him on the download because he can't really help him too much because Darhk will figure it out. But I don't know. Like I look forward to hopefully character development for Quentin before they actually off him, which I suspect they will.
I don't know if they'll actually off him, but we still think the grave holds Mama Smoak, right?
I think it's either her or Quentin. I'm 50-50 on him at this point.
I think it is Mama Smoak right now, and part of my evidence being that Felicity's there, and I don't know. I'm just feeling it. I'm just feeling that one.
We have been given exactly nothing to go on, except for the fact that we know it's not Felicity now.
Right.
The way she's reacting, you have to kill that son of a bitch. She would, and looking at it from a producer standpoint, as a head writer standpoint, whatever you want to call it, I could say, okay, well, she would react exactly with what they gave us. She would react that way with Diggle. She would react that way with Thea, Laurel, any of these characters.
Right.
It's not necessarily just Mama Smoak.
And we
or
had
Donna,
tried to kind of,
as we're going to call her.
Right. And we had kind of done that same game with Oliver. Like, who would he react that way to, and like, who would Barry feel the need to show up for, and stuff like that. But
yeah.
it's the triangulated piece between all those three. Barry would show up for Mama Smoak. Oliver would be that pissed about it, and Felicity, whose veins have apparently turned to ice. Yeah.
But you know what? Barry would have shown up for any of those cats.
Barry would have shown
up.
Any of the
cats that are on that show.
Yeah, Barry would have shown up just because somebody was having a bad day, and it takes him 20 minutes. But still, would they have bothered to bring him over for it? That's another major question.
Well, they're probably on the same lot, so yeah.
And I don't know what's written into his contract. I don't know if it's like, hey, and X amount of times per season, we're going to expect you to show up to work on Arrow. I don't know how that's written. Maybe it's not that way, and they actually have to say, all right, do we really want to spend X amount of money to have Grant come on for just this one scene?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even. Why are they even spending any money for him to come on scene? Like, just shit, dude. Like, if they were smart, which I'm sure they're smart enough, they probably wrote that into the contract when they started the Flash. Like, okay, you have this amount of episodes per year or whatever, or this many years,
there'll be this
and
amount of
also
crossover expectations for your character.
Yeah, yeah. And if Grant and company have any kind of brains about them, they're like, yes, please. No, I don't need more money. I'm the freaking Flash, and etc. So,
I mean, he could have gotten like Ruffaloed, where he's just expected to appear in every damn thing.
Sure, that's fine too. I mean, just give me all of it. I just drown me in it.
All good with me.
I mean, not for nothing though. I really think that God, they are really trying to give Thea something to do. Like, I'm so bored with Thea.
Yeah,
now she's
we
just
live in a state of being generally bored with Thea. Don't get me wrong; it is so much more fun this season seeing her be Speedy. I could not be happier with that.
I hope so hard for her to have something interesting to do outside of being Speedy. She just doesn't.
Every time.
Now she's kissing dude. She's kissing that dude, and she's like, "Oh, by the way, I have anger management, and I'm getting over that, and the thing, and now I need to." Well,
the only thing I feel like was actually accomplished this episode was she has proven to herself, at least, that she can fight her bloodlust when she really puts her back into it,
and that's a fine thing.
Yeah, except it's also a little bit boring. I kind of liked her being bloodthirsty. Yeah. So that was fine with me for a minute, but
yeah, I wish I could fight my bloodlust as well as she can.
Right. Because of all the murders, we all wish that, right?
They'll never find all the bodies.
It's good that they let you out of prison every week to do this podcast with me. I'm very happy with them.
They let me out,
or they at least let you go to a small room and operate machinery and a mic. And it did, by the way, in your recent post with Matt, it totally looked like you kidnapped his ass.
Yeah,
he looked lost
Matt
and afraid.
Matt of the Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast, we were at Walmart. We were hanging out a couple of nights ago, and I we were like looking in the $5 DVD bin, and I was just pulled up my phone, and went, "Hey Matt, selfie." Yeah. So it was a lot of fun.
It looked like
that's on the Facebook page.
I mean, it looked brutal. It looked like you had shown him like a picture of a loved one getting murdered.
No, it was just actually a picture. It was just he was seeing himself.
Oh, was it just yeah? His eyes are slightly to the left. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, well, it was like 2:00 in the morning. We were at Walmart. Yeah.
Everyone looks lost and afraid at Walmart at 2:00 in the morning. What are you doing?
That's true.
I mean, you looked damn plucky. You're the weird one here, right?
Oh, always. So, yeah. I really enjoyed parts of Anarky. Like, I kind of love and hate him. I think, yeah.
I like the mask. I actually did get to like the mask over the course of the episode.
Mm-hmm. It's creepy.
It is, and that's why I liked it.
Yeah. I do like that he is unwilling to kill Speedy because he feels like that she like freed him or whatever.
Of course.
I kind of dig that. That's kind of fun. Other than that, I don't give two shits about him. I kind of like the actor a little bit. I can't decide on him.
Let me put it this way. I think the show did better. The show, the writing and the actor are better than that character actually is. So to me, that's points in their favor. Like, I don't like Anarky's character. Just never have. He's never been somebody I was particularly interested in. Like, even in the like Arkham games, I kind of thought, oh, and Anarky's here? Fuck, I got to do an Anarky mission now? I didn't give a damn.
Yeah, the only time I kind of liked Anarky was in Beware the Batman. And, but I still always feel like it's just someone polishing a turd, man.
Yeah.
I don't care for Anarky too much.
It's not too much. Now, again, though, that's to my point. Like, yeah, I think the show did a lot better job with this character than they should have been expected to.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a backwards compliment, though. Yeah, on the one hand, you did a great job with the character that I feel like has almost no expectations that could be levied, and on the other hand, why the fuck did you pick that character?
Right. It's just always like Arrow or Batman versus the first two acts of SLC Punk.
Oh no, it's back in the day when they were like, all right, for the smokers of the world and the people who smoked before you couldn't use the word light. You had Marlboros, right? And then Marlboro Light, and then Marlboro Ultralights.
Uh-huh.
If the Joker's Marlboro, Anarky is like Marlboro Ultralight.
Mm-hmm.
Just flavored air. Flavored carcinogenic air.
Yeah.
It's really hard to say Marlboro in general, but several times in a row, it's absurd.
It is.
I'm tired now. Should have picked a less exhausting metaphor.
Yeah. I loved that Oliver let... was it Oliver? Was it Oliver that let Anarky go? Who let Anarky go?
Oh, I don't know. I kind of forgot about that.
I thought it was Oliver that he let Anarky go and told him, "You make sure Damien Darhk is dead."
Yeah, no. You're right. It was because he damn near kills Speedy.
Laurel,
I mean, he lets her go, but he does. He totally Laurel, just lets him puts him in the wind.
Because Oliver was holding him hostage, and then he gets the news that Felicity will never walk again. Then Laurel, in her infinite wisdom, goes and tries to take him in, and has the cops like put him up, and freaking Oliver blasts the doors of the of the whatever it is, the cop van, and tells him, "You make sure Damien's dead." Mm-hmm. Shit, dude.
I mean, I feel like you gotta recruit where you can with something like that, right?
Yeah, and I love that Diggle was like, "Yeah, I'll back you."
Right. Diggle's approach to this has been just as bromantic as it gets. I'm not going to agree with everything you've done. I'm sure as hell not going to agree with some of the stuff you're about to do, but I've got you every step of the way.
Mm-hmm.
That is, you have to have friends like that in your life. You just have to.
I just followed a little trail in my head. I saw a promo that really looked like Lila was going to die. So I was just thinking about how that's totally the coward's way out. That's how they get out and make everybody, show up at the funeral and be upset. Mm-hmm. They kill Lila. I think I saw a gun pointed at Lila's head that doesn't mean anything. Yeah,
that's a fuck that. That would be a giant letdown. They've said whoever's in that grave stays there. I expect them to keep their word, even though I do think sometimes Guggenheim is a lying bastard. But He was corroborated on that initiative. So I expect that to be... I expect whoever's there to be DED, man. Done.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
You know what? Now's as good a time as any. Like, I was going to talk about it in the news episode, but it's not really even necessarily news. It's just that the cat that played Tommy says that he's totally down for coming back. He wants to come back.
I think his desire to come back is only matched by yours.
It's not my... my only desire is to be right.
And I understand it's a strong desire. But I believe a useless one in this case. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know. Colin Donnell. He's actually got a show that he's on, NBC's Chicago Med.
Oh,
but he says,
okay.
I am all down for it. I would be so happy to be back on Arrow or on Legends of Tomorrow in whatever capacity. There's got to be something where evil Tommy pops up. I want him to be totally different than he was before. So, yeah.
You know what's sad? It's impossible for you to say the words evil Tommy and me not think about Power Rangers. That's on me. That's totally on me.
I thought about it too, though. I wasn't going to say anything, but I was just like... I remember watching Tommy's eyes glow green whenever Kimberly walked away and went, oh shit.
He's bad now. Yeah. Yeah.
Don't kiss him, Kimberly! He's evil!
Yeah.
So,
also,
yeah.
say no to porn.
So, I love the Constantine tats glowing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I was happy to see the
island.
use of that tattoo. That was good. And he still got it going into the prison.
Yeah.
So, I guess... I don't know. Is it? I'm not sure exactly what the purpose of the tattoo is yet. I don't know if I just plain missed it or if it's...
Well, he always has the tats. He had them in the pilot.
Yeah.
I just watched the pilot last night.
He's still got it, but it clearly has some ability, but I don't know exactly what ability just manifested.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know. Yeah. But how was it that you put it? Like, Baron von Not So Rider
right.
was like saw the glowing tats and went, oh
Baron
no,
not Blitzkrieg.
no, yeah. Okay, that's what it was. Yeah, he was like, oh yeah, no, your shit's done. Whatever your name is.
Right. Yeah. I don't.
What's his name? Cabbage.
Fucking his name is Redneck Dude. I don't fucking know.
I thought it was Coulson. I was like, wow, they're just straight up stealing names from Marvel now. And then it was something else later, and I was like, oh wait, okay, I must have misheard that. But I can never remember what it is. Every time I hear it, though, I just think of Cabbage.
It wouldn't surprise me if, every time they just redid his name, because who the fuck cares about you redneck piece of shit?
Right. I every time I see him, I just think, oh, there's Cabbage.
Right. I don't know, dude. I don't know exactly what ability I've just seen out of this tat. I don't know exactly what it means. Mm-hmm. And I actually don't know. I don't know Constantine well enough to know if the tat itself is whole cloth or if that's actually something that he's had from time to time. Maybe there's a reference in there in the books that I don't know about.
I'm sure someone could find a mystical tattoo in there and say, "Oh, that was it."
I mean, it's.
I'm not worried about it.
And it can only be so many things. It's 4, I want to say Japanese characters. But it's 4 specific characters.
No, Constantine's a British character.
Yeah, but they don't make British characters like that. Their characters look a lot like our characters. For any number of reasons. Yeah, no, it's very specific. It wouldn't be something you could just say well, this looks like that, because it should be specific. But I don't know. Maybe that's just something out there that we don't know about. But I haven't seen exactly what it does yet, but I was happy to see it mentioned again, and I'm still looking forward to seeing what the fuck that thing does exactly.
Hey man, it stopped him from getting whipped.
Isn't that enough? If that's all it does, way to go on the foresight, John.
Well, he said it was a protection.
Yeah, that's all I know. I know
thing.
It's protective, but I don't know how far. Is that thing going to light up? And, by the way, does it just light up every time he's in trouble? Or
I wonder if it's a probability thing. If it... Dude, wouldn't that be badass? If, the entire time he's had this, protective spell on him that Constantine gave him, that, that's why he always wins. That would be so amazing.
That'd be nice. He's got Domino, basically, but as tattoo form. Mm-hmm. That would be cool.
That would be really cool.
Would also kind of redo a lot of the Green Arrow character, but that'd be cool. It'd be a good twist for me. Within the context of the show. Mostly because at this point you've snuck it in over 4 years and I didn't notice, so kudos, but we'll see if that works.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like maybe in this episode when or whatever the episode was where Damien like mystically shoots that arrow back at him and he just hits his arm. Maybe that was just the tattoo making the probability shift.
Right?
Yeah, I don't know.
It gives him Constantine's luck in general, so he just always survives by just the hair on his nutsack, but
Right.
really not a character you can trust emotionally.
Unless this is like a one-shot spell, and then forever after it just becomes a friggin' tattoo or something. I don't really like. It has to be part of the arrow canon now. It has to be.
Well, it
If it's a probability
presumably will be
shifter,
because rebirth, but that's a whole other thing, man. Whole other thing we'll get into sometime when there's more information.
Man, I mean they're just revamping their comic book line again, to more closely resemble the movies and the TV shows,
Right?
Which is fine. Call it a revamp, whatever. Marvel does it, and they just don't give an explanation. So
They just change stuff suddenly and go, oh, well, this is how it was now. Oh.
all right.
Separate thing entirely, obviously. The Diggle Andy thing, I liked the adjustment. I liked his wife's suggestion. Like, it's not working. Are you going to change approaches, or are you just going to keep trying something that doesn't work? Good call. And it's simple act. But I liked the moment at the end of the show where he just pulls out cards, no questions to ask today. I'm not looking to come in there where you just play cards, man. Mm-hmm. I actually have no idea what game they were playing because I started watching him put the cards down. I was like, I'm not familiar with this beast.
Yeah.
Did you catch it? I'm not as familiar with card games as I once was. Unless it's poker or blackjack, I'm pretty much out. I don't even think I remember how to play solitaire.
Yeah. Well, they cut the scene where Diggle goes, how you want to roll, man? And he's like, concentration.
Let's play speed. It'd be kind of hard with all the bars in the way, but
right.
Cool moment though.
Go fish.
It would have kind of undermined the moment in some way. Like, you look down at the cards and they're Uno cards. Really? Mm-hmm. Really? Uno? Okay. I've forgotten how a lot of cards work. It's been like 10 years since I played a board game. I don't know.
It's Magic the Gathering.
Right. We're going to get this for a while, Andy.
I was really glad that Damien Darhk's wife was kind of more cold-blooded than he was. That she wasn't just like the doting wife who thinks her husband is just like the perfect like that's the stereotypical thing. That's the trope. Like, here's my family, and they don't know that I'm a crime lord who practices magic and shit.
Right.
Oh, and Anarky stole his freaking thing, I guess. Was that made clear? Did Anarky steal Damien Darhk's bullshit? His like his mystical totem or whatever it was? Like, or did Damien like know that he was coming and take that out? Like, run with it.
That's a good.
Because when they opened the cabinet, there was like an Anarky symbol in there, which made me feel like he had taken Damien Darhk's totem or whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called. I'm not a magic person, but
because there are obviously objective references that we can get to.
Dude, there totally are.
I
dated a Wiccan once. I'm not proud of it, but I dated a Wiccan once.
I actually did too. I was perfectly fine with that. I just, it's a weird thing.
Yeah, I mean, she just had a lot of language that I didn't understand, and then, I don't know.
I ended up, she was a good girl. Just that's what she was into. Whatever.
Mine was not a good girl. She was awful.
Oh yeah, I still talk to this girl every now and then. She's perfectly cool. One of the relationships I didn't thoroughly ruin.
Hey, I'm whatever. I can't speak to the moral judgments of whatever, but I actually do. I'm friends with a girl who used to be a Wiccan. She was awesome.
There's
a vampire story that we have to get down, but anyway,
whole other time. That's a news episode. So
yeah.
And I'm trying to flip through, and I don't see anything. I really am. I've got the episode up on a. I'm clicking through, and I just can't. I can't find exactly whether he took anything. He just seems to. I don't think he did. By the way, he's one hell of a fighter. I actually do like watching him fight. That's one of the plus marks in Anarky.
You know what I really wanted to see?
I like the Nightwing style weaponry he's got most of the time.
I wanted to see like the scene where Oliver was like, "Dude, you're a crazy fighter. You took down all of those ghosts." He's like, "Oh no, I just showed up and they all like killed themselves." It was weird.
Right.
It was just like, no.
I mean, he would be, lieutenant material at least if he was in the ghost situation. I don't actually see him leaving the house with anything though. I don't think it was anything like that. And I tried to find the shot a second ago where he's in the woods, and
I do specifically remember them saying that Damien Darhk knew that it was coming and kind of pulled out of that location. So I'm assuming Damien would take his little play pretty, his whatever thing he
bail,
worships,
whatever that is, or something.
That that the scraps that he worships. I don't know. Friggin' weirdo. I will pass judgment on Damien Darhk's religion.
Not the real world's, but Damien Darhk's, damn it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he actually took anything. It like the footage I can find, it doesn't look like it. So
okay,
I think that remains to be seen. But I will give Arrow a little bit of. I will give Oliver in particular a little bit of shit. Like, dude, come on. Dark's just standing there, and you start firing arrows at him again.
Yeah,
you know how this goes.
What was that you said earlier? Definition of insanity?
Right. Although he would qualify by it at this point. Like, his boo's all in the hospital and yeah, can't. It's bad for him right now. He's not thinking
sometimes straight. Like they play the Oliver letting his anger get the best of him card so much that one, it seems a little silly when he's trying to tell Speedy the same thing, like you can't let your anger get a hold of you. And then like Damien Darhk shows up and
what up, Kettle?
Damien, yeah, he's like, yeah, you can't do that. And then like Damien Darhk shows up and Oliver just turns and starts firing arrows with such rage and vehemence that I almost imagine that he's about to start humming his own theme song. Just like dun 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 dun. Like, why are you humming? And also, I'm catching every arrow with magic. What do you?
And throwing it back at you.
I am the hero. I'm going to shoot you with arrows now.
Damon is clearly just messing with him. He just is. Like he throws he glances the one off his arm and then throws the other one into what looked like his armor. Like he's clearly Darhk is way more in control of this situation than Oliver is. Mm-hmm. And I did. We should at least mention that the deal he proffers to Oliver, like, you've bought yourself some time.
Mm-hmm. Because he saved his family.
I'm still going to kill you, but I'm going to allow you a little more time to say goodbye to your family. Mm-hmm. That is some cold shit right there.
Yeah.
And what does he give him, like 3 weeks or something? I forget the number.
I don't know, but his wife was not happy about it.
Yeah.
She was like playing the audience card. Like, why? You're the villain. Why the hell would you give him more time? He's just going to come up with a way to stop your ass, you idiot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He's like, it's about honor. You don't understand. He saved you guys, but they're still bad guys to us. They're you dumb bastard.
How do you think this ends?
Yeah. You need to stop praying to that stupid sack of straw or whatever the hell you have and start praying to me.
Right. She looks like she'd be up for it too. She was just super mean.
Yeah, she was like evil Andy McDowell.
And I'll put it this way. Yeah, actually. She was so venomous, like so much vitriol in the limo that I wondered, like looking back on the scene, I wondered why and how she hadn't like chewed through the fucking ropes while Anarky was sitting there doing his monologue. Like there was such rage there that I couldn't believe that he had contained her for that long. But lo and behold.
Yep.
Yeah. That was all I had on Arrow. It was kind of it was an episode.
Yeah, I mean,
there's some good stuff, but it's we're still waiting for the peaks a little bit later. They just kind of kept the balls in the air with this one, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, they gave us a couple of cool little windows. Like I enjoyed, like I said, Damien's wife being, so much more cold blooded than he was, or at the very least, just more mean.
Yeah, I even I like the aspect of seeing Damien care about something. I mean, he's over there just like arm over his little girl, and you can tell there's genuine affection there. It's nothing cold about it. That's how a well-adjusted person holds a person they love.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and speaking of people loving people, Laurel found out her dad's like boinking Donna Smoak. That happened this episode.
I forgot about that. How'd she react? I forgot about that scene entirely.
well, confused and somewhat horrified, but then, he tried to explain himself, and she's like, you're a grown-ass man, dude. Get over it.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Like, she hadn't just had, like, a weird, grossed-out reaction. I don't know. Like, as people do.
Yeah, generally when, like, one of your parents explains any kind of personalized sexual story, it's just,
Yeah. She totally, like, reacted like, oh, no, oh, wait, no, get it together. He's okay. Everyone deserves a chance to be happy, Dad. Don't feel weird.
Don't feel weird.
Oh my God,
it's totally okay.
I'm dying inside.
I'm just going to go throw up a little bit, and then we'll come back and have another chat, okay?
Right. Yeah.
Oh, such is the way.
That's all I have on Arrow. It was a fine episode. There was nothing. I didn't see anything really egregious.
No, I'm fine.
That's the important part of Arrow at this point.
It's not like, oh my God, look how excited we are. It's like, okay.
Yeah. Every once in a while they give us a really good episode, and I always hope for the best, but, if they don't make me angry, I call it a win.
I'm generally pretty happy with that, yeah.
Yeah, and, but I'm telling you, man, Season 5, Tommy Merlin, he's going to be the big bad. Even though Stephen Amell wants Slade back. But
I don't want Slade back.
I wouldn't mind him showing up. Sort of like in a Barrowman role. Like, if he can show up as, like, a frenemy or something, like an anti-hero.
That's the only way. Like, there are two scenarios where I would accept Slade back. And one is the enemy of my enemy is my friend thing, where they have to actually team up for a minute. I could deal with that. Or I could deal with, they come in, they fight, the normal amount of hell breaks loose, and then for whatever reasons that the episode would have at its disposal, it's decided that he's going to leave pretty much permanently and get off of Oliver's radar because it's like there's some mutual understanding between the two that I'm going to go play in my ground and you're going to play over here, and we're not going to have it.
You know what they should do?
What?
And this has nothing to do with the comic books. This is just my own brain. This is what I would do. Have him interact with the Legends of Tomorrow, but future Slade. And future Slade tells them, take me back to normal time, or to your time, because there's so much shit that my future self is going to do. Or my past self did. Sorry. So he shows up in Arrow, but he's like silver-haired Slade. Like, he's come to his senses. Like, the Mirakuru's kind of worn off.
Yeah. Or he's just at least gotten used to coping with it over the years.
Yeah, but actually have him being in the past screws up the timeline, of course. So he's not quite sure.
We're talking like 20 years from now, and remorse has even seeped into his godforsaken veins.
So, but he still doesn't know. So he comes to Oliver like Olive Branch,
Yeah.
Have it to where, like, because he's there, he's changed the timeline. So he doesn't even know what his younger self is going to do. He has an idea. But as soon as he's revealed to his younger self, now his younger self is like, no, I'm going to pull this, this is all changing.
Oh, if you do bootstrap style too, where like if he changes his past, it changes his future. That'd be kind of fun to see like those two fight, and then old Slade kills younger Slade, and they and kind of vanishes. Like as the body's dropping, he just vanishes.
Yeah, or like midway through, like have him kill younger Slade, and because it was a separate timeline, like he still exists because he has to, because that version of himself should have disappeared as soon as he showed up in the past, or whatever.
Right. Well, we're learning from the existence of Reverse Flash that apparently your timeline, some of the things that happen in it are linear and cannot be affected. Yeah.
But TNT just passed on the Teen Titans project. Leave old Slade in there, spin it off into a new Teen Titans, but with like old Slade and shit. Boom.
That'd be fine.
Boom.
That'd be fine with me. Or hey, I mean, look, the whole season's been about getting magic and mysticism in this shit. Like, let's not stop at Vixen, which, by the way, is coming up, so hell yeah.
Yeah.
Let's not stop there. Let's have Deathstroke come back, and it turns out Oliver still can't take him, and the person who has to off him for him is Raven.
Oh, man. Let's just do all the things.
Yeah. Have her come back and just straight up take him off the board and explain that Trigon's going to have his way with him, and he doesn't need to worry about him anymore.
Man. All right, man. We're getting into some crazy, not even crazy, but, fan wank at this point.
That's just straight up fan wank now.
Fan wank from inspired by comic books. Next episode, we're going to be talking about Legends of Tomorrow, Pilot Part 1. We are DC On Screen. You can find every episode at dconscreen.com. You can find us on iTunes. You can find us on Stitcher. We're on Facebook and Twitter and all the places. If you
Google something, I don't know.
Yeah, if you want a similar podcast about the Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast, about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, ... go check out the Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast with our buddies Matt Carroll and Jeff Randall. We're both members of the Giant Size Team Up Network. God, there's so much stuff to say at the end of the show.
I know.
Until next time, which should be coming up right directly, keep some DC on your screen.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Are you struggling to lose weight and keep it off? Tired of wasting time and money on starvation diets that lead to more frustration and stress? If there was a weight loss solution that could actually work for you, would you try it? Then head to Golo.com.
I'm Steve. I lost 138 pounds in 9 months on Golo.
I'm Amber. I've lost 128 pounds with Golo Taking Release.
If you're ready to take back control of your life, head to Golo.com now and see how Golo can work for you. That's GOLO.com.
My sleep is way better. My inflammation has gone way down. Golo saved my life. I was way overweight. That's what sent me down the path. I wanted to make sure and live for my kid.
I have literally tried everything. I was on the verge of getting gastric bypass surgery, and I saw the Golo commercial, and it was the last thing I tried because it worked.
Join over 2 million people who have found a better way to lose weight with Golo. Your healthier and happier life begins at Golo.com. That's GOLO.com. Again, GOLO.com.